Let me introduce Scott Johnson. He's so kind to come over and welcome Scott. He's going to represent the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Missoula. And if people have been watching the news, they know that Big Brothers Big Sisters have had a hard time with funding being cut from state and federal levels. They're facing a deficit. And I'm sure you're as perky as I am because MCAT may be facing a deficit. And so what can we do but move forward? That's all we can do. So
that's right.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the steps Big Brothers and Big Sisters are taking in Missoula?
Sure. I guess I should start with where we came from and where we're planning to head.
Yeah.
Organization's been around for 49 years. We're in our 50th year, planning a nice big 50th celebration next spring. And obviously we've very been in the community a long time.
Yeah.
And we feel like we provide a great service to at-risk youth here in Missoula.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, just like your program, we're a nonprofit, and for most of those 49 years, we relied and were fortunate enough to get grant institutional funding for the bulk of our annual budget. And in recent years, that's changed. We've lost some of the sources of this funding.
Yeah.
4 years ago, we lost our state funding. So that finished about 2 years ago. And then in the last year and a half, we've also lost a very major federal grant that we relied on.
Wow.
Which basically took about a third of our annual budget out of away from us.
Yeah.
Right.
We also stopped receiving money from United Way in about 2013.
Oh.
So just kind of a perfect storm, or
Right.
the opposite of a perfect storm.
Right.
And while we saw this coming with the state money going away, and we were trying to plan for that, it all hit so quickly. For a couple years, we've been able to rely on reserve funding, reserve money that we had set aside.
Sure.
And just in the last 6 months, that reserve money's been virtually used up. And it became apparent that we had to change our funding model in the last 6 months and go from a situation where maybe 30 to 40% of our funding came from private donations to just about a flip-flop of that, where we're hoping to, or we're going to have to rely on 60% or more from private donations.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
It's a
sources.
big switch.
It is. And so trying to figure out how to create this new model moving forward has kind of caught us in a time crunch. And so we've made an appeal to the Missoula community to help us out, hopefully get enough donations to bridge the gap from the old model to the new model.
Yeah. I feel your pain because this may be the situation for MCAT, and we thought, well, I guess we should fundraise, but when you've not fundraised for 29 years, you can't expect an
It's very
enormous-
difficult to switch that model.
Yeah.
But I think one of the important things is to share with us a little bit the kinds of work you do with
Sure.
kids. Because I have some good friends who have been very fortunate to have big brothers and sisters around, and they know how necessary you guys are.
Sure, and I think at least my feeling is that most people, when you mention Big Brothers, Big Sisters, they have a basic idea of what we do. But I think that a lot of people think it's just a way to assign a little brother and a big brother, a little sister and a big sister, and get together once a week.
Right. If you're a single parent,
You're
and you need a
And it goes much further than that. I used the term earlier, at-risk children, and typically it's children of a single-parent household, no mother, no father, or maybe a child of an incarcerated parent. The term at-risk goes into so many areas.
Unfortunately, yes.
And,
there are a lot of circumstances.
What we do is create a mentoring relationship. We go through extensive background with our volunteers, and it's a full process to line a volunteer up big with a little. We also have big couples that work with a little brother or a little sister. And we also offer an after-school program at 3 of the schools in Missoula as kind of a once-a-week venue during the school year for them to match up in a mentoring one-on-one situation, but at a controlled activity. Maybe for people who haven't been matched yet with a little or a big, or maybe for people who can't commit to the full time of being a big.
So you could kind of get your feet wet a little bit and see how it feels as a volunteer or as a
Right.
child, right? And
The other thing that after school is that it allows a lot of our kids that are on our waiting list participate in that and before they get matched. We also found in the last several years that we're getting more and more at-risk youth that are living with their grandparents.
right.
So then they have neither a mother or a father in the picture. And this mentoring, statistics show that the type of mentoring that we do helps create a more stronger sense of family for the littles, hopefully gives them a role model, and it increases their likelihood of graduating high school, going on to college, staying out of the system, and becoming productive members in the community,
Right.
which is what ultimately what you hope for, giving that child a little bit of a better chance.
Right. And so it's a benefit to all of us in the end.
Exactly.
It really is.
Yeah.
I don't know if, Scott, you put up the website. Well, yeah, he said yes.
Yeah.
And I went to it and I saw the big donate button.
Right.
And you had the language something like defend Big Brothers and Big Sisters. I thought that is really good.
And that's a relatively new logo and motto that has come from the Big Brothers and Sisters of America on down to all of the local agencies, and defenders of potential.
That's a great slogan.
And they feel like
Yeah.
that kind of encompasses what our mission
Right.
is to help protect the potential that all of these kids have.
Yeah.
So the way Missoulians can help right now is to go to the website.
And make a donation.
Number
know.
one.
Yeah, number one. Yeah, to go to the website, and I want to preface this by saying we've had fundraisers through the years, and we have an amazingly generous community here.
Yes.
And we have people who have supported us through the years, and we're just hoping we can get a little additional support and maybe extend our network of supporters a little bit further and accomplish this short-term bridge from our past model to our future model.
Right.
And the website, you said it's being posted or it's being shown. Our website, or people can call our program office or stop by. And if they have questions, do any of those too.
Are you still in the log cabin-like building on the
We are.
corner of
Yeah.
Mount
We are.
and Russell?
Mountain
Yes.
Russell, correct.
Hard to
In the
miss.
northeast corner.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
good.
and when people are on the website or they're talking to you on the phone, after they've donated, they also might be moved to volunteer and you have a whole training
Correct.
program and opportunities.
Right, we have
in that
multiple
case.
ways to volunteer.
Great.
As bigs, as board members, or other aspects of the organization. And we, the mayor proclaimed this
Yeah, let's
Help
Monday.
Big Brother and Sister
Yeah.
Month in Missoula. We're thankful for that, and we hope that people will help us be around for another 50 and then beyond.
We know you're going to do it. So
Yeah.
get online and help or get on the phone. And
Please.
we better run.
Yeah, oh, we better go.
Yes.
Well, Scott, thank you so much, and feel free to come back with a progress.
Yeah, give us an
All right.
update,
Report.
okay?
Thank you, and I'd love to have Big and a Little come back.
Yeah,
and-
I
and-
think that's
Oh,
a great
yeah.
idea.
I love the whole big little thing.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
Good luck, Scott.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, we'll be right back. We have 2 more guests and 20 more minutes, so
Very
we'll see you really
brief
soon.
PSA.